It was supposed to be an experiment in socialization. No physical changes except some blockers to hold back the growth of a beard and make the male genitals sit quietly in the delicate panties. Just to play with the male mind. And then it would be over. There would be a follow-up in a week or two to confirm reassimilation as a male. I suppose I never thought that was in doubt. For 2 years I looked forward to Independence Day. That would be the day that I could return home to my apartment that they had been looking after in my absence, and collect not only the payoff for the experiment but the rent they had collected off a subtenant in my absence. I needed that money. That was why I subjected myself to this. I was a little thin, sure, and I responded to the conditioning, yes, but only because it was relentless. Now it was over. I never doubted that I would simply be able to go back to the man I had been. But there I was, in the floral dress, checking to see that my legs were smooth, thinking about a summer wardrobe of women's clothes. There was a magazine in the rack at the cafe, and I was thumbing through it, gasping at all the beautiful clothes. It was not me. Was it? They said that unless I had some homosexual or transgender inclination, I would readjust immediately. I was just a normal guy, so why wouldn't I? I should be in my male clothes, down at the marina looking for that sailboat I wanted to buy, but instead I was sitting in a cafe in a dress and red heels, thinking about spending my money on women's clothes, and using a compact mirror to check my lipstick. On my Independence Day. Then he walked in. I barely noticed him, but I could see that the cafe was full and that he had ordered and was looking for a seat. For some reason I smiled. I still had my compact in my hand. I guess it was just checking to see that there was no lippy on my teeth. Maybe. Do you mind if I... What could I say? I just shrugged my shoulders. Was I going to talk in the way I'd been conditioned? In that silly girly voice? It does seem to be very busy here. Busier than I remember. The words came out of my mouth in a high and simpering tone. I am not even sure why I said anything. I was looking at a magazine. So, you are not a regular here? He was looking straight at me. I had the strangest feeling. He was a very good-looking man. Tall and fit, tanned, and with tousled sandy hair, a little too long, perhaps. I live nearby. I used to come here every day. But I have been away. Why was I talking? What was this feeling? It was deep inside me. I had a sudden thought that my little cock might be growing. I moved to smooth out my dress to check. No. It was tiny. I crossed my legs to crush it, just in case. He watched my legs. They looked great. Why had I shaved them the day before Independence Day? That was stupid considering that I was never going to shave them again. Somewhere exotic? He asked. Nothing like that. A girl has to make $1. That was me. A girl. They said that the genitals would recover in size and performance from the moment that the blockers ceased to have effect. That might be a week or 2. Maybe longer. Can I ask what you do? He asked. Hell no. I thought. But I am not doing anything. What can I do? I had to say something, so I said, I just quit after 2 years in the same place. That is ancient history. I am looking for something new. He smiled, and there was a surge of that weird feeling. Was he attracted to me? My hand instinctively went to my hair. It had been cut in preparation for Independence Day, but I looked so good with longer hair. Why had I cut it? It made me look like a tomboy. I was not a tomboy. What was I? His coffee arrived. It was an espresso in a cup, plus a large takeaway cup. He downed the single shot. If you are not doing anything, perhaps you might consider joining me for lunch, he said. The nerve of this guy. I never would have been so forward. I liked it in a man. I liked him. Maybe more than that, if such a thing were possible. Which it is not. So why was I grinning at him like a fool? Worse still, I had nothing to do. I was just going to do some shopping. Let me take you down to the waterfront shopping center, he said. That is where I am living at the moment. I am living on my boat down at the marina next to the center. Do you know that area? Any spare moment I am down there. Everybody knows me down there, I blurted out. Then I had the sense to add, or they used to. I have been away for a while. Are you interested in boats? Now this could get me into trouble. Say no. Tell him you hate boats, was what I was telling myself. So, I said, yes. I love boats. I have always wanted to sail away from here. He had a rental outside. It was a pickup with some provisions in the back. He opened the door for me. I don't usually get into cars with strange men, I said. Dane, he said. Dane Sogard. He thought that he was no longer a stranger by telling me. Michelle. I did not give a second name. I sort of liked the name Sogard. Could it be Danish? Was he Dane the Dane? Michelle Sogard. It sounded nice. What sort of boat do you have, Dane? I asked. It's a 90-foot Brook design with a schooner rig, he said, as we drove down the road toward the waterfront. Do you know what that is? I sure do, I replied. Do you think a girl doesn't know her forepeak from her transom? He laughed. What a laugh. A laugh that can warm a whole room. God knows it warmed me. I was suddenly aware that I had a penis. A horrible, ugly little penis. If it were not for that thing, this is the kind of man I could turn gay for. He could sweep me into his arms and take me aboard his boat. We could sail the oceans together. We could make love every day. Was I turning gay? I can't wait to see it, I said. But shopping first. It seemed more of a statement than a question. He was not going to rush it. But I knew what he wanted. It was the same things as me. Dane? I asked. Would you consider yourself open-minded?